Alright, what's going on, guys? So, my name is Dakota. I'm going to be showing you guys basically how a funnel works today and what you have to do to get into the position where you are targeting the correct people and you are making sure that you have the correct offers in place and you have the correct platforms and basically making sure that you have everything lined up for success. And I know that this kind of looks if you haven't done digital marketing and stuff like that before, this may look a little bit intimidating, but I promise I'm going to go over everything with you guys. So the first thing I want to kind of explain is how the internet works. And I know that I don't know who all is going to be watching this, but I'm trying to make this as simplified as possible so that it is able to be consumed by pretty much anyone and they're able to understand it. So the way the internet works is pretty much everywhere you're at, if you have an internet signal, what that signal means is if you have Wi-Fi, if you have data, if you have any kind of signal, what that means is that there is a cell tower or some kind of tower or device or something that is connected to a central network that knows exactly where all of these other networks are connected to, which are called IP addresses. So IP addresses, what they are basically the locations and the different cross references between different towers and where this IP address is located, which is where your device is at, which is connected to either a cell tower or a Wi-Fi device or a modem or something like that, or you're hardwired into your computer, which can also, anyways. So that is how location stuff works with being able to be tracking the people on the internet. That's how Google tracks you on navigation. You give it permission to track your location. It has access to the towers, has access to your device, and now it's able to say, okay, here's the towers, here's this, okay, awesome, this is where they're at, and I'm going to show them on their device where they're at. So I hope that makes sense. Now imagine doing that with everything that happens on the internet, not only where people are at, but what they're doing. So if you turn everything, if you binary, just so you know, binary means it's very black and white. It's like yes, no. If it's I don't know how to explain it besides black and white. It is or it is not. So yeah, just like male and female. There's no male, female, black, white, water, air, I don't know, those kind of comparisons. So it is definitely something, and it is definitely not something. And so basically what the internet turns into is a bunch of binary code, and it is, if you guys have ever seen I forgot what it's called, Morse code, you tap, that's what coding is, but done on a visual scale and expanded, very accurate scale with different captured images and different kinds of abilities to move the scales around with code, which is on the back end of websites and softwares and stuff like that, which is what gives us the ability to have the visual effects that the digital devices that we have today have. So getting past that and into the point that I wanted to get at is it tracks everything. Google and everyone tracks everything that you do on the internet, and so that gives us the ability. If you're watching this right now, you're probably into digital advertising or you're looking to get into it. If this is your first time, I might scare you with some of the stuff that I say. I'm not sure. When I first heard some of the stuff that you could track and target and actually do, it was actually kind of a little bit I don't know, I wouldn't say scary, but it was whoa, that's really powerful. I guess it's, more powerful than it is scary. But getting back to it, you can really, 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 really accurately define people and when they're ready to take the next step in your conversion funnel and when they're not. And so if you guys don't like to backtrack to get to the point where we're ready to go forward with a digital marketing funnel, something like this, we want to make sure we have a few things prepared. We want to make sure we have a business plan prepared from A to Z. We want to have our strategy, we want to have our differentiators, we want to have our mission statement, we want to have everything laid out, drawn out, our target audiences, what our highest revenue generation service or product is going to be, or what we are anticipating it's going to be, what our anticipations are, what our projections are, if we have data from the previous year. So there's all this stuff that we have to kind of fit into this business plan and make sure it's very refined for when we go and do it for the digital marketing campaigns and stuff that we do online. And the first thing that we do online is, after we have the business plan, we also know that we have a marketing plan. We also have a brand plan, or a brand strategy. So a brand strategy is basically you understand who it is that you like, the target demographic and psychographic that you're trying to speak to in all of your marketing campaigns, and you basically create your brand around that target persona. So like, for instance, Barbies. Who do you think is gonna buy Barbies? And it's probably gonna be between, like, I don't know, 4 and 12-year-old little, like, females. That's what I'm gonna guess. And so you can get a lot deeper with that, obviously, and I'll show you that in a later video, which goes into like Facebook targeting and stuff like that, which is up here. So these are all the platforms that we can go and attract audiences to our website with, and Facebook is just one of those platforms. So there's social media, and then a breakdown of social media are different areas of social media where people will go to socialize and to consume content and to interact with each other on. And basically different kinds of audiences will hang out in different areas. And so if you have anyone above the age of like 35, they're most likely going to be using Facebook and possibly Instagram. Now if you go any lower than that, you're probably going to be looking at, yes, they'll probably still have Facebook, they might have Facebook probably, but they'll probably be using Instagram more if you get going towards like 20-25-year-olds, you know what I mean? So there's different. And then LinkedIn is a B2B, it's basically a career / networking online social platform for like businesses and career building. Yeah. So anyways, all these different people are on different platforms for different reasons, and the key is to finding your audience type that is going to be able to find the most value out of your top revenue or profit generating product or service. And then you go and wrap around your whole brand, how you tone, how you even down to the fonts and stuff and the colors that you use. Like if it's a female and it's only females that you're targeting, you want to make sure that we're using very light colors, and then we're using very, very soft fonts so that like it's very I don't know the word to describe it, but you understand what I'm saying. So we have to basically have all of these different data points integrated into one spot to be able to expand and scale properly to where we can do all of this efficiently. And so it really all starts at the base though, and that's where our strategy and like our personas and stuff like that come in. I will show some templates and stuff on here, and I might link some templates below. But there's so many different things that we have to cover in order to get through just like the whole base understanding of what a funnel or a flywheel is. So I'm going to try to sum up. I was kind of breaking down all of this stuff, but it's going to take me forever to try to break down everything very simply for you guys. So to basically break this whole thing down for you, so what this is here is the internet. So last time I didn't really give you guys a visual for where the internet was. The internet is anywhere that you're accessing any kind of website, anything online, any video, any kind of anything where you have to have the internet. I think I used the internet to describe the internet, but hope you understand what I'm saying. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, all these different places are on the internet. And it's where everyone can kind of go to access different kinds of information, whether or not that's information on politics, or maybe that's a video on YouTube, or like it could be anything. But it's this place where everyone can go to and find information, find entertainment, find anything that they want to, basically. And that's where we are taking advantage of and really being able to take advantage of the scalability of what I'm about to show you guys, which probably isn't going to be, it's not going to be in this video, but we're going to use all the stuff that I show you later, how to do what I'm about to show you right now. So up at the very top, we have where these people hang out at, right? So we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have blogs, people read blogs, We have people that will, these are actually all ways to go and get people to come to your website. So affiliates aren't necessarily like, what I mean by affiliates is you have people linking to your website, and you can actually create something called a UTM code, which is essentially it's you saying, hey, I'm attributing everything that comes and touches this URL, which you can use this, man, I'm gonna get too into the weeds if I try to describe the UTM, but you can go ahead and look up the UTM, and yeah, you can look at that instead of trying to have me sit here and waste 5 minutes of your time trying to describe it. But it basically allows you to attribute clicks and revenue to certain people that sent that traffic to your website. So that's what affiliates are. Podcasts, just audio stuff, Pinterest, Twitter, paid advertisements, and then word of mouth referrals. So up here I have what content do we push, and that is dependent on who do we want to attract, and this is where all of our traffic sources are coming from, and this is where all of our content, this is kind of what I call the content cloud, is right here. It's just kind of like all this kind of just going up into there, into all these different places where content can be consumed on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Google, blogs, all that good stuff. So this is the content cloud part of it. Now this is where people can actually come to your website. Once they hit this site, you can track, first of all, where they're coming from, why they came to your website, if you have stuff properly labeled, and then based off of what URL they first hit on your website, you're able to tell their intent. So basically, get this, if you have, let me try to explain this the best way possible. So if you have, so if you're sitting across from a librarian, she has 20 books, right? She lays them all out in front of you, and she tells you to pick one, right? And then based on the cover, based on the colors of the front cover of the book, and based off of how the paper feels, like all these different things, you choose some random one that's like second to the left and one from the bottom. So out of a row of out of 20. So, which I guess that wouldn't be square, but you get the idea. So you pick that one, right? You pick that one book. Now that librarian knows everything that is different about every single one of those books. And so now she's gonna sit there and say, I wonder why she picked that one. And then you're gonna go and test different variations of that book to figure out which book. So you basically go and take the book that you took, take that book, and the librarian is gonna wanna go and tear that thing apart to figure out what it is that caused you to go and pick up that book. Was it the font? Was it the color? Was it this? Was it a combination of these? You know what I mean? So basically using the scientific method to extract all of the fluff information and really get to the core reason of why someone did something. Does that make sense? So, and that's essentially what you're doing with all the advertising that you do online, or all of the content that you push out. Is it's a bunch of like split tests. It's a bunch of tests to see what work, what hits, what doesn't, and you're out there trying to figure out what it is that's going to best serve your audience and also provide the most value for them, so that you can also extract the most value from them. Or yeah, I think I feel like I said that improperly, but anyway, so yeah. So you're trying to provide the most value and also extract the most value. So it's like you're trying to create the biggest win-win situation over and over again. Now, that is basically the funnel, is being able to go and grab people from these traffic sources up here, whether that's Google, Facebook, Instagram, all these other places where people hang out at. We're focused on digital, but like if we're talking about all around marketing, we're gonna just for an example, we're going to include like a billboard, just so we know that this is like this is kind of what that's related to, is like billboards and stuff like that, stuff that's going to drive traffic to the website and hopefully drive some action. And then getting them from up here all the way to segmentation, to where you personalize based off of the actions that they take on their website. So just like I was describing earlier with the book, if you picked a certain book, then you're going to serve them, then I'm going to serve you more of that book until I figure out exactly what it is that gets your attention consistently, and then I'm only going to serve you that. And then once I have that figured out, then I'm going to start using emails to email target you, and then I'm going to start making sure that there's an so when you come to a website, just so you know, there's something called a cookie. And so what happens when you get cookied is essentially the website that cookied you is able to now track you around the whole internet, and that's why you're able to go and see Amazon's ads that you just got done looking at 15 seconds ago on Facebook, like right after, you know? That's what cookies do. And so basically you do that until it gets to the point where, just like a newspaper or just like with anything else you read, you get familiarized with the brand and the kinds of things that you're seeing from them, and you start to get to the point where you're associating Facebook with the level of authority that your brand or the person that is being shown on the content feed over and over again, you're starting to get literally subconsciously ingrained into their mind. And so over time, that's what causes the 7 touch points to be attributed to, or 7 follow-ups or whatever, to be attributing to a sale or a conversion. And I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but basically there's a pretty consistent rule out there that says it takes on average about 7 times for someone to convert into to convert in general from the first point, or from the first touch, which is the first point it saw your content. It could have been on Facebook, it could have been on Google when they searched something and you provided an answer for them. It could have been a video, or you know what I mean? So as soon as they become aware, from the time they convert and they actually give you information, or they commit to something, or they actually say, I'm going to actually do something with this, it takes about 7 times to show up on their newsfeed or show up somewhere, so that you start to gain authority subconsciously in their head, to the point where they break down that barrier, that wall that people have when they're first getting to know someone. And you do that over time, and then eventually they're like, yeah, I guess I'll check it out, because that wall has been broken down over time. And I don't know if you guys notice that with yourselves. As soon as you start seeing stuff, you're like, what the heck, why is this here? And then you start seeing it over, and it's like, it becomes normal. So that's what you're doing here. And then you're also doing it with emails as well, based off of the kind of blog that they read, or based off of whatever it is that they came to your website for. And then after that is basically just trying to get people to not only buy, but turn into promoters of your website. So you want to provide so much value, which is why it's important to find your like prime audience. You want to provide so much value that they want to go and tell everyone else that is like them about the product. So it compounds, which is another reason that you really want to hone in on who it is that's going to take advantage of the product and who the product is made for, or service is made for, is so that compound effect happens not only in real life from word of mouth stuff, but it happens on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. Because you have to understand that if you push out a piece of content or anything like that, and it's shareable, and people like you, and people like what you represent, or people like your company, or whatever it is that they like about you, they're going to share your stuff. And you have to think about it. Everyone hangs out with who they're like, who they're friends with. Like, everyone's friends are usually pretty similar, and they have similar interests, because otherwise they'd separate and go their own ways, because we have devices that let us sit on our butts and do whatever we want whenever we want. So if they're telling people about this, it's because first of all, they're interested, and then second of all, that's an indicator that they have friends that are like them, that are probably going to turn into conversions as well. And so anyways, that's my spiel for tonight. Hopefully that helped. I feel like that was going to get all, or that was pretty much all over the place, but this is my first like just on the fly trying to explain stuff. So this one's going to be crap compared to the one that I make 40 times from now. So but it's alright, just gotta start doing it. So that's why. Hope you guys liked it, and I'd love feedback. This is probably going to be going on YouTube. I'm doing this just for fun, but I'm probably going to actually end up pushing these on YouTube because I'm going to be doing it consistently. These are all of the topics, by the way, that I'm going to be going over. And so, yeah. Anyways, I probably couldn't see that, so you're gonna have to press pause on that one screen. But yeah, I think other than that, I am solid. I'm not gonna be bringing up anything else, I don't think. So, anyways, I will make another video next time. I have a ton of stuff, a ton of videos to make. So, just so you guys can see, I'll show you guys the videos that, or at least the topics that I have planned. It's right here. Oh. There you go. So there's that, and then there's also tons and tons of stuff in here which I'm not going to go over. But anyways, so lots of stuff to create, which is why I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is that you guys want. So whoever it is that sees this video, whoever watches it and actually enjoys it, gets some value out of it, I'd love some feedback as to what I can do to get better, what some more stuff is that I mentioned that you may want to learn more about. Pretty much anything I can do to help whoever it is that's interested in learning anything about digital marketing, business, entrepreneurship, psychology. Like I know I claim to know a lot about a lot, but I don't know. I really don't know what I have no actual purpose for this channel yet, so that's kind of why I'm up in the air with everything right now. It's really just for me to get better at being on video and being comfortable on video and being able to articulate and express and communicate effectively in situations where I'm kind of forced to be put on the spot, not just in my head. Like I can't just see something in my head. So anyways, just trying to get better, and that's kind of why I'm up in there, and that's why I would love some feedback. So if you could do that, that would be much appreciated. And I'll probably be doing videos on philosophy, on business, on scalability, efficiency, productivity, psychology, neurolinguistic programming, all these nerdy different topics that I love learning about because I'm not sure why. So, yeah. Anyways, lastly, I have one person that I'm in touch with that is actually the founder of a company called Mental Gurus, which is a mental health. It's basically, they're on a mission to help the mental health of the world and get it back to where it's not on a downhill slope, and that's where it's at right now. So anyways, he used to be, well, he still technically is a therapist, and I am the content manager for him and his team. So if you guys would like to know anything specifically about like therapy or ADHD or depression or anxiety or personality or almost like anything that has to do with any kind of psychology, you can ask me or him about, and he'll be able to give you an answer. But anyways, just answers or questions for us to answer and kind of talk about in our videos. We're having like monthly or weekly hour-long videos that we just kind of ask questions, and I have questions prepped for him, and he answers them. And it's kind of an interview. It's kind of like Joe Rogan, but I play the Joe Rogan role, and then Bridger is the opposing role, so the guest role, I guess. So, alright, this video has gone on way longer than I expected, so I will catch you guys later, and I will make another video soon. Thanks. Peace.